everyone, I'm Maki. The promotional video for Freedom Zero, the prequel to Gundam Seed Freedom, has been released. Let's analyze its content together. Although the information is still limited, it's exciting to speculate about the development of the story. What hidden elements might there be? Let's watch the video together and explore its details. The opening scene shows Kira turning around in front of a clear blue sky. Kira speaks with a cheerful expression. Cagalli, hearing Kira's words, shows a momentary look of surprise. Shortly after, her expression becomes slightly pained. Director Mitsuo Fukuda has already spoken about the reasons for Kira's participation in Campus. Kira joined Campus because Cagalli invited him. If it had been someone other than Cagalli, he might not have joined. Could this be the scene where Kira tells Cagalli that he agreed to join Campus? If that is the case, it is understandable that while Cagalli is happy about Kira's offer, she also feels sorry for drawing him into the fight. This is not the only moment in the promotional video that hints at the pre-campus timeline. In this scene, Kira is not wearing the campus uniform, but rather the old military uniform. His cheerful expression is also noticeable. In the first half of the story of Seed Freedom, Kira often had a troubled, anguished expression. The Kira who appears in Lars' dreams also has a pained expression and wears the Zaft's uniform. This scene may depict Kira in the time just after the battle with Duano, when he still had high hopes. The next scene introduces new characters. The promotional video uses effects where the screen fades to black and white, or the colors are inverted. Similar effects were used in the first promotional video for Seed Freedom. Kira's face becomes half black and white and distorted, and there are scenes of Lois and Opie shaking hands, as well as Kira deep in thought, all presented in black and white. These effects seem to symbolize the challenges and trials within the story. The color reversal effect is also used in scenes showing the Black Knight squad beginning their plotting. The names of the new characters have not yet been revealed. Fans speculate that the man on the left may be Leonard Beryl, a character from the novel distributed as an entry bonus in Seed Freedom. It has been announced that Leonard's voice actor is Daisuke Ono. He previously voiced Swen Cal-re-A in Seed Stargazer and also voiced Wolf Annie Aqua in Gundam Age. He is a veteran voice actor known for voicing key characters in the Gundam series. Fuku the woman on the right B. She seems to be a new character as well. However, her distinctive eye makeup and eye color match those of Agnes Gibenrath. The fact that she wears the red Zaft uniform also supports this connection. Director Fukuda also described Agnes' characteristics. She has a chameleon-like ability to accurately predict her lover's preferred appearance and transform into it. This could suggest that Agnes cleverly assumes the appearance of Lena's ideal woman. In addition, the novel version of Seed Freedom mentions that Agnes was once deeply betrayed by a former lover. Many fans speculate that the story may involve Leonard conspiring with terrorists and orchestrating the theft of the Freedom Gundam. Considering that Daisuke Ono is voicing Leonard, it is even more likely that Leonard will play a significant role in the story. The next scene shows Kira and Lars. The setting is similar to the house where they lived in the plants. The layout is slightly different, such as the part at the top that appears to be a fan. In addition, Seed Freedom has a new shelf on the wall for bottles, possibly for spices or other items. This could just be a manufacturing oversight, or it could be changes Laws made after moving in. Director Fukuda also commented on Kira and Law's apartment. It is said that Kira and Laws prefer a modest lifestyle, much like the one they led with the children in North, rather than a luxurious home. In this scene, while they appear calm and happy, deep down they may not be truly satisfied. Perhaps Laws subtly rearranged the furniture as a small act of defiance. Laws' outfit seems more appropriate for public appearances than casual, relaxed clothing worn at home. The design matches the clothes she wore after attending the plant council. On the other hand, Kira's outfit is very casual. This could be a scene where Kira welcomes Laws home with homemade soup after returning from work. It's a reversal of the scene in Seed Freedom. There, Kira returns home after the food has cooled, while here Laos arrives to a steaming, freshly made soup. It is a striking contrast between the two scenes. The next scene is the shining handshake, which shows Mu lawbreaker and his actual shaking hands. Mu is voiced by Takehito Koyasu, who previously voiced Kim Jin Gundam in Tane Gundam. Izaki is voiced by Tomokazu Seiki, known for voicing Domin Koshu in G Gundam. Both Jin Gundam and Domin use the Shining Finger special move, which adds an interesting layer of context to this scene. Perhaps a Gundam fight between the two, watched by Ryaka and Maru, is about to begin. Just kidding. Mu and Maru are wearing old military uniforms, suggesting that campus is not yet established at this point. One might wonder, how Izak reacts to Mu's facial scar? In the past, Andrew Waldfeld recognized that a warrior who chooses not to erase a scar does so because of a vow he has made regarding that scar. Personally, I'm curious as to why Mu keeps his scar visible. Despite being under the influence of Logos at the time, Mu was responsible for leading the operation that resulted in the Berlin massacre. As Neo, he felt a deep sense of helplessness when he had no choice but to send Stella and the other extended soldiers into battle, despite his sympathy for them. It would be interesting to see these elements addressed in the story. This scene is probably very significant. The Archangel's captain, Murasame Mu, an important enough person to have been entrusted with piloting the Akatsuki by Cagalli, had made a special effort to welcome the Zaft military personnel. An important meeting regarding the establishment of campus may be taking place there. The next scene shows Shinn and his group. This may be a continuation of the scene where Izak shakes Mu's hand. Shinn and Lunamaria are also seen in Zaft's uniforms. This is another indication that the promotional video may be set in a time frame prior to the formation of campus. Shinn's uniform does not have the faith emblem. In the final scenes of Sea Destiny, after the end of the war, Shinn was also shown without the faith emblem. It is likely that Shinn has renounced his faith status. In the spin-off Freedom Astray, the character Courtney Hero Nemesis that as a Zaft soldier. He piloted the Destiny Impulse and fought against the Durano supporters. Given Shinn's involvement as a Durano supporter during the conflict, it makes sense that he would have his faith status revoked after the war. Also, Lunamaria has an irritated expression. Let's focus on the direction of her gaze. She is facing Shinn. If Shinn were the cause of her displeasure, it would be more natural for her to avert her face from him. But Lunamaria is tilting her head towards Shinn. Could it be that she has spotted Agnes among the newly arrived Zaft personnel? In the novel distributed as a bonus with the movie, there is a mention of Lunamaria's past with Agnes, who stole her boyfriend. Given that background, it would make sense for Lunamaria to look displeased. Also, Mao is seen giving Lunamaria a slightly surprised look. She might be surprised to learn that one of the Zaft officers they are meeting with is someone Lunamaria knows. The next scene shows a battle between mobile suits. The combatants are Murasames, suggesting that this may be a training exercise within the old military. The footage is briefly distorted, which appears to be an intentional effect for the promotional video. However, it could also symbolize a drill conducted under conditions simulating the effects of a neutron jammer disrupting radio communications. If so, visual interference with communications would be a natural occurrence. The weapon used by the Murasame to shoot resembles the railgun seen in the final battle of the movie. However, it appears to fire bullets more like a machine gun. This suggests that the railgun may have been developed using the structure of existing weapons. One of the Murasames accelerates rapidly in mobile armor mode, and its color scheme is different from the usual Murasame colors. This could indicate a special specification for an ace pilot. The equipped weapon still seems to be the same type of firearm. Director Fukuda mentioned during the introduction of the movie that Zero was originally started as a project similar to MS Buoy. If the MS Buoy aspect has remained intact, this could be a variant of the Murasame. A red Murasame transforms and hurriedly chases a blue Murasame as they pass each other. This is where the scene ends. The next scene shows visual interference effects again. The battle is between the Gyan Storm and the Strike Freedom Gundam. The Strike Freedom dodges all incoming shots with its superior maneuverability. Notably, the Gyan fires metal bullets instead of a beam rifle. The Gyan advances with a beam saber in hand and a waist shield. It is equipped with a space-capable backpack, indicating that this battle is taking place in space rather than at night. The color scheme matches that of the Gyan customized for Agnes. However, the area below the mono eye is not painted red. The Gyan Storm was originally designed to be a mobile suit, piloted by Izak during the concept phase. Could it be that Izak is piloting the Gyan in this scene? Meanwhile, the Strike Freedom approaches, wielding an orange-colored beam saber. The Strike Freedom's beam sabers are typically pink, so the use of orange sabers here stands out. The Gyan also has an orange beam saber. This could indicate that these are low-power training sabers. In C, when the Strike Gundam and Freedom Gundam were training, they also used orange sabers. The weapon held by the Strike Freedom also deserves attention. It is not a beam rifle, but resembles the machine gun of a Zin. It's also striking that the cartridges are a different color to regular Zin guns. Perhaps they contain paint bullets for training. The collision scene between the Gyan and the Strike Freedom is also noteworthy. The Strike Freedom carries her pistol on her hip, while the railgun is tucked behind her waist. The Strike Freedom Type 2 is known to have a feature that allows the pistol to be stored without moving the railgun to the back. This suggests that the Strike Freedom in this scene may be the original version seen in Sea Destiny, rather than the Type 2. In the promotional video, there is a moment where the Strike Freedom is shown being overpowered by the Gyan. Could it be that the new Gyan is stronger in terms of raw power? Or is it an expression of the difference in skill between the pilots? According to the novel distributed as a bonus with the movie, Leonard once asked Agnes if he could pilot the Freedom just once, and Agnes used the influence of her political parents to join the new Freedom transport mission. Is it possible that Leonard is piloting the Strike Freedom here? If this is indeed a confrontation with Isaac, who fought on the front lines, it would be understandable if Leonard's skills were comparatively weaker. The final scene shows Lunamaria and Shinn in swimsuits, cleaning themselves. Director Fukuda has commented on this scene saying, this may be the first time that swimwear is shown in the Seed series. The swimsuits worn on by Shinn and Lunamaria were issued by the military. In Seed, there was a scene where Athran and others appeared in swimwear while infiltrating Orb. Isaac, Diaka and Nicola showing off their swimwear. Let's check out their sexy swimwear. However, the design of their tactical swimwear was quite different from what is shown here. It's possible that Zaft issues swimwear for soldiers to use during downtime for relaxation. Note as Lunamaria's noticeably displeased expression. Could something have upset her? Did she have an unpleasant interaction with Agnes after the reunion? Or maybe Lunamaria was the pilot in the earlier scene with Murasame. Shinn is seen with a serious expression on his face, concentrating on cleaning. Is he cleaning the deck cover warship? The striking white color is noticeable. The warship Millennium is known for its great paint scheme, so the distinctive white suggests it could be the Archangel. If this is before Compass was founded, then the Archangel would make sense. A closer look at the whaling design shows similarities to the Archangel. The promotional video ends with a close-up of Shinn's serious face. The new promotional video is the same as the special footage shown in Japanese theaters. What kind of story will it unfold? Could the focus on Shinn indicate that he will be at the center of the story? Director Fukuda mentioned in a previous stage greeting that the story will depict Shinn regaining his cheerful personality and deciding to pilot the Justice Gundam. The sight of Kira smiling in the Zero promotional video was also very striking. In contrast to Shinn, Kira's gradual mental strain could be portrayed. The anticipation for the mobile suit action is high. It will be exciting to see which mobile suits appear and how they perform. Director Fukuda said the main directing work has been completed, and the voice recording has also been completed. He also shared that the production of Zero began around the time that the Sea Destiny TV anime ended. It's possible that Zero will be released sooner than fans expect. Thank you for watching to the end. See you in the next episode.